I'm actually excited for the experimental thing that they were talking about with the Arena Commander. Since I have no idea what it is. But yeah, let's watch the new Inside Star Citizen. I guess you watched it already.
I'm still here, still trying to learn what all the buttons do. So while I'm at it, let's not waste any more of your time and get you all right into part 2 of this enormous Arena Commander update that's scheduled to make its way to you in the upcoming Alpha 320. And I'll be right here when you get back.
Do your best Jared impersonation.
Oh, I don't want
Last time on Inside Star Citizen.
Just yell really loud. Last time on Inside Star Citizen. I don't even know what accent that was.
Are you excited to be doing 2 ISCs in a row?
It took me over 80 minutes in what we had only scheduled to be an hour to film what was probably a 15-minute episode. I'm sorry. Especially to Jared's team. Sorry, guys. It's
Speaking of which, how long is this? 12 minutes. They could have just made one episode a bit longer.
Getting such attention shone on Arena Commander, and I'm excited to finally bring it up to what I believe it has potential to be. I get pinged like every other week asking to put Atmosphere in Arena Commander.
Arena Commander is a waste of time and resources? It's not. I'll tell you why in a second.
And now they finally have it, they can stop whining. They're going to whine about something else. I can't stop the whining, but I hope you liked it.
All right, before we start. So the reason why you should have Arena Commander, first of all. So if you don't know, the game that you're playing, Star Citizen, is going to have Death of a Spaceman. And death is going to be much more meaningful. Like it's going to matter more than it does right now. So Arena Commander is practically there for you to train and to like get a feel of how you fly certain ships and all of that, how to PvP and all of that. And then you go into the PU and you survive, basically. So that's the point of having Arena Commander. Firstly. Secondly, in Arena Commander, they can see if the balances of the ships are right. Like if some guns are overpowered, if some thrusters on certain ships are overpowered, etc. So that's why Arena Commander is really important to have.
So last ISC, we talked about Law About Flight, but there's 2 other major parts that we want to be talking about here. And the first is FPS combat. So FPS combat in Arena Commander is so important because you need a place to...
Now they have Star Marine and Arena Commander are basically the same thing now. So FPS... I love this map. This is pretty cool. So it's a nice change because nobody played Star Marine before. I've actually met one guy in my life, and he's a weirdo, that went there on a daily basis, but nobody was playing, so he was just having fun there. But yeah.
Practice shooting each other without actually dying for real, like you do in the Persistent Universe. So we need to make that experience as close to the Persistent Universe while still having it be...
Also, you know what? This kill cam,
universe, so we need to make that,
but the cam when you die needs to change, even in the PU. It just needs to change.
That experience is close to the Persistent Universe while still having it be fun and unique. So you access Star Marine game modes exactly the same as we showed last week with the new front end, new lobby system, and jump straight into the action.
Actually, JJS, which is much different to JS, I guess. You will not, at some point, once this game gets better, I guess, and once they start working on different stuff, you will not be you will not leave Star Citizen to practice for Star Citizen. This the whole Arena Commander thing will be integrated into the PU.
So with our existing maps, the VFX team are helping us out and doing a pass over everything. So it might not be finalized
No, but more people are going to play Arena Commander now.
in the footage that you're seeing here, but we're excited to see.
No, a lot of people are in the Arena Commander, but not in the Star Marine. That's the difference. Now that they have like both of the things at the same spot, and now that like they're working on some new stuff for the FPS gaming, more people are going to play it.
See where they can take it and uplift all of our levels, because they're in need of a facelift. And we've been working hard on fixing a lot of the bugs and frustrations across the maps.
All I know is they did a lot of bug fixes recently. I don't know, we're not meant to just say bug fixes. Fixing doors that weren't meant to be there, resolving the fact that you could just smash through the glass, which you're not meant to be able to smash through, and just go into EVA in the middle of Elimination, which is bad. Being able to get into areas you shouldn't be able to get into.
So we fix those up. In terms of new maps, we've got a variation on a fan favourite, Echo 11. We're introducing that to Elimination. Echo 11 is quite a big map for Control. For Elimination, we've tightened it up. We've cut off access to the D room and some of A room and made it a little bit smaller so that the action can be more compact and suitable for Elimination. So last week we showed off Security Post Korea, being introduced to dogfighting maps, but we've also introduced it to FPS maps, so you'll be able to play Elimination, Control, and some of the new game mods on Korea itself.
Okay.
So to recap, for Star Marine, you'll be able to play on the Good Doctor, a larger version of Echo 11 for Control, small one for Elimination, and the same for Damien and get Damien Comms, as well as Security Post Korea, which is being introduced to Elimination and Control. So with the Good Doctor, at some point along the line, all the trees disappear.
Like in Star Marine or like FPS parts of Arena Commander, you can still see how clunky FPS is in this game.
So designers went in and restored that, so it's back in this beautiful oasis area that it's meant to be in, and fixed the lighting and various other issues that just happened over time. I don't know how. And now Good Doctor's looking beautiful again. So Star Marine is a personal favourite of mine. I love FPS combat, and I'm so excited to be working on more additions to the FPS area of Arena Commander. And that leads us to something I'm super excited to talk about, and that's experimental modes.
Okay.
Experimental modes are important because it allows us to get back into what the real meaning of Arena Commander used to be, which is playtesting and making sure that things that are made for the PU and Arena Commander and Squadron work the way they're meant to. It allows us to put stuff into a testing environment where we can quickly check if just something works the way we want it to, essentially.
Somewhere along the line, we lost that, and when we formed the Arena Commander feature team, we knew that Arena Commander has to stand on its own and have these flagship game modes. And
you didn't lose it, you just didn't like focus any attention to Arena Commander for the past couple of years at all. Like, Arena Commander is broken for a while now, and it was broken since I started playing the game, and I'm not sure if it was any better before I started playing the game. So
new things that are unique to Arena Commander, but we still want to support the persistent universe and other ventures that we go on. Experimental modes are important to us because it gets things in your hands quicker. Instead of waiting for these big, huge game modes to release, we can
So, wait, what is this going to be? I thought like that the experimental mode would be for like testing out like ships that are about to come out, but they're not still in the PU, for like weapons and stuff that are still not in the PU, but you can test them out there, so they can have like more input, but
hands quicker.
Statistics.
Instead of waiting for these big, huge game modes to release, we can test things out periodically for a day, a week, a month, and get it into your hands sooner rather than later. So let's dive in and take a look at some of the experimental modes that we have been working on. The first experimental mode is single weapon elimination, so you can jump in with what will be pistols at first.
From a developer standpoint, single weapon elimination gives us the opportunity to really test weapons that we want to get tested.
Also, notice how none of them are actually gamers. Well, good gamers. Whoever is full-time Hitman CEG. So Hitman CEG, if you're watching this and you're not, lower your fucking sensitivity, dude.
Single weapon elimination gives us the opportunity to really test.
What is this fucking jerky movement? What is that?
Weapons that we want to get tested. It allows us to check every single part.
Guys, okay, so I noticed this in like competitive games, and then I noticed this in games that are not that, like DayZ, for example. It's not a competitive game, but you still have like FPS gameplay, and you still shooty each other. So most of the times I didn't die when I was like this close to a guy in DayZ, because his sensitivity was basically this. Crank it up to fucking 1000 and like I don't know how many DPIs, and like you're not gonna hit shit. So if you want to get good at games, the first thing that you need to like do is lower your fucking sensitivity.
Developer's standpoint, single weapon elimination gives us the opportunity to really test weapons that we want to get tested. It allows us to check every single part of the weapon balancing and make sure that it works just right. We know that players.
So basically, what you want to do, let me just like explain this. You do not want to like control your aim with just wrist movement. You need to move your whole hand, and then you will be more precise, because this is not as precise as this. So basically, what you want to do, you want to have your 180 degrees like all the way here. So when you do this movement, you look the other way, and then you're back, and then you look the other way. Some people, for some certain games, you want to have that lower. Just saying.
Test their skill against each other, and the best way to do that
is
to
this is going to be like
equal.
a gun game.
So everyone gets the same weapons, everyone gets the weakest weapons in our first version, and they get to just see who's better than the other.
With 320, we're introducing pistol-only elimination, and that will be the arc-like pistol.
Look at this fucking... What is this?
Will be the arc.
What is this?
Introducing pistol-only elimination.
Dude, I'm getting tilted. I'm honestly getting tilted. What is this aim?
Pistol, and it's a personal favorite of mine.
It was Hitman again.
Adds increased time to kill.
You ain't gonna hit shit, Hitman.
And it came originally from playing with you guys, the community. And at the end of a long session of Star Marine, someone threw out the idea of like, what, can we do like a pistol only round? And I just had so much fun with that. We ended up playing for at least an...
Dude, why are you talking about sub-tick rates? Dude, that's like, we need a tick rate first to have a sub-tick rate, dude.
Hour.
What are we talking
that
about?
That mod is inspired by that. So for this patch, it's just pistols only, but we can change it up at any point. It's simple parameters. And if the weapons team come to us with a new weapon they want to test out, they want to get that analytic data, they want to get the fun factor, we can put it into Arena Commander, whatever that weapon is only, and see how you guys like it.
Alright, so they will be testing some weapons out in the experimental mode, and I like that. But yeah, I hope that we will see like ships, like pre-release in the experimental mode, so we can test them out, but sure.
The next experimental mode that we're working on is Gun Rush.
Now, names are temporary. They might change between now and release. But Gun Rush is where you start off with a pistol, and as you get a kill, it upgrades you.
And then with every kill, you go to the next type of gun. You go through LMGs, SMGs.
Some special weapons, I won't spoil.
Snipers, and even the rail.
And then we've put some surprises in there for whoever gets to the last round. So Gun Rush, as the name might suggest, is super fast-paced. It lets you get your hands on many different weapons as you cycle through them and get some experience with stuff that you hadn't had. For example, I had no idea how to use shotguns. Still don't really, but I'm a little bit better at them now thanks to Gun Rush. So Gun Rush is only possible thanks to the refactors we've been doing to the spawning and loadout modules.
You know why you don't know how to use shotguns? Because you gotta get close and you can't fucking aim with that sensitivity. That's why. And also somebody said, Adam said, that you gotta lower the sensitivity in the game, but you gotta crank up the DPI. You don't need to crank up the DPI. Like, some people are getting like 64,000 DPI mouses. What's the point? Like, I don't want to go like that into it because there's no fucking point right now. But I'm pretty sure that I can kill whoever has like 64,000 DPI and like low sensitivity with my 1600 DPI and low sensitivity.
Shotguns still don't really, but I'm a little bit better at them now thanks to Gun Rush. So Gun Rush is only possible thanks to the refactors we've been doing to the spawning and loadout modules. So
like once you go over 1600, is like, this is what I'm saying. Once you go over 1600 DPI, like it's just an overkill.
And instead of refreshing your entire loadout, switch out just the gun, and it's super fast. Now, whereas before it was a bit of a clunky thing to do.
In the next experimental
Royale.
mode, we're bringing ground vehicles to Arena Commander, and that is Tonk Royale.
So there's going to be 3 locations for Tonk Royale. It's going to be Hurston, Yela, and Magda. So how it works is simply we have a massive arena, we drop you in on these 3 various maps, and you just go to town. There's going to be 3 versions of Tonk Royale. First is classic elimination deathmatch, respawns, just get as high score as you can. Second is squadron battle, so you are team versus team tanks. In squadron battle, it's super exciting because you can run as just the driver, or you can join one of your teammates and be their gunner. And then the third is still being worked.
Ground vehicles are so clunky. Look at him getting stuck on the fucking
Be
block
their
here.
gunner. And then the third is still being worked on. Not sure if it's going to be making this release.
Yeah, it's Tonk Royale.
But super excited about it is hardcore elimination. So essentially elimination, but you've only got the single life. When a Tumble Storm gets introduced to the verse, we'll be sure to add that to Tonk Royale as well. After 320, we'll also be finishing off our racing refactor, which allow us to make maps faster and merges PU and AC racing systems together. It's going to be a more streamlined process for us.
Can we get these kinds of checkpoints in the PU? I'm seriously not even gonna try to race without these kinds of like checkpoints and like notifications of where you need to go.
Our designers and a better experience for you, less buggy on both ends. So with the racing refactor, we've also been working on a betting module, which will let you bet on races. Now, we haven't got all of that signed off, but excited to get that in if we can. So just like the persistent universe, all of these maps, game modes, and features need to have their own individual go no-goes. At the time of recording this, we've got some successful goes for Alpha 320 for the following. The new Arena Commander front end.
I know that I said this in the last episode, but I don't like this.
The new Arena.
There should be a drop-down menu. When you click on this, it needs to be a drop-down menu. If you want to do like a thing over like the whole fucking screen for everybody to see everything, like
Commander
look at
front
this.
end.
You click on Classic Race, and then you have oversized fucking buttons here. And what's the point in having these visuals here? They just like take space. It could have just said, it could have just been a drop-down menu, and it could have said Classic Race, Control, Free Flight, etc. And then the issue is
The new Arena Commander.
when you click on the map. Oh, you can't see it because of my camera. Let me just. Okay, so the map is here. When you click on this, it doesn't give you the fucking pictures like with
Commander
the
front
game
end.
modes, which it should, because like there's a bunch of maps and you don't know what they're called, so you should probably see the picture of the map. Like this is a completely, I don't know, it's just fucking useless, honestly.
The new lobby system. The new spawning system, which allows for multi-crew gameplay. New death cameras and death recaps. A revamped scoreboard and scoring system. 4 new racetracks for the new Horizon Speedway. Old Vanderval, Rickard Memorial, Defford Link, and Halloran Circuit. In addition to the 4 PU racetracks.
Those are
the
just
Snake Pit.
words. Those are just fucking words that you just said that had like no meaning whatsoever.
In addition to the 4 PU racetracks, the Snake Pit, Miner's Lament, Yadar Valley, and Icebreaker. The Jericho Station dogfighting map, Security Post Curator with dogfighting and
Okay.
FPS maps, the
Yeah.
new Pirate Swarm Final Wave Capital Battle, the new Echo 11 Elimination map, and new experimental game modes like Single Weapon Elimination, Gun Rush, Tonk Royale, Elimination and Squadron Battle versions, and finally a new Infinite Wave Vandal Swarm you'll discover for yourself. So that about does
That's
it this
cool.
week. I'm so excited to share all these cool developments with Arena Commander, and got the list here. I just want to give a shout out back to Adam, Adrian, Bryn, Corwin, Kirk, Mark, Ricky, Samuel, and Sean and Simon.
I want to thank God. I want to thank my manager and my mama.
And the Arena Commander feature team. I'm sitting here in front of the camera, but man, the work it's thanks to this amazing team that I have. And I just couldn't say no to Jared because he's my dungeon master and I really don't want him to kill my character.
All right, not gonna lie, the experimental mode is whelming. It's not underwhelming. It's not overwhelming. It's just like whelming. It's just there to whelm. I don't know what else to say. Did he thank Chris Roberts? I want to thank God. That's
So,
like the
what
first thing that you gotta say when you fucking grab an Annie.
Learned this week?
Right?
Well, we learned that changes to FPS.
This guy.
So, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that changes to FPS maps should make for a more varied experience in Star Marine game modes. That the first ground vehicles are finally arriving with Tonk Royale. And that we hope the new experimental modes will function not unlike dynamic events for the Precision Universe, where they can provide timed, direct experiences the team can use for
You know what?
analytics and
Okay,
feedback
I
from
see
things
that a bunch of you are saying that this is jank. Sure, it is. The whole fucking game is jank. But look, if having Tonk Royale is not just gonna be like, oh, there you have fucking Tonk Royale, you can like pew pew each other and blow up each other with tonks. If they actually take like the input from the players with this shit here, when the players tell them like, hey, tanks cannot fucking go over small rocks, we get stuck on shit, you gotta fix that. Like, you know what they did with the links? They just made the links go like no clip through everything, basically. Which is not how you do it. Because now you can hide the links inside a fucking rock, right? So they need to fix the physics of the game, basically. So if the experimental mode and if having all of this in Arena Commander is going to help us out or help them out to fucking understand what the players are pissed off about, then great. But if it's just going to be like one of many gimmicks that CEG has given us throughout the years, then like whatever, dude. I don't really care.
experience in Star Marine game modes. That the first ground vehicles are finally arriving with Tonk Royale.
CEG has
And we hope
900
the
people
new
working
experimental
on Star Citizen and Squadron 42. Just saying.
modes will function not unlike dynamic events for the Precision Universe, where they can provide timed, direct experiences the team can use for analytics and feedback from things as small as a single pistol to a brand new vehicle to even curious experiences like Gun Rush and a few more things that we're not quite ready to share just yet. Also, if you missed last week's show, go check that out and see everything else that's coming your way from the new Arena Commander feature team in the upcoming Alpha 320. There's some fun stuff in there. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for exploring the process of game development with us, and we'll see you all here next week.
Sure. Hopefully next week we're gonna get like something. Oh no, you know what? Next week it could be like the road to Pyro, or maybe it's gonna be like one of those like meetings about server meshing. You never know. What is this?
There isn't going to be a post-credits thing in every show.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of which, Rokumo just had like a really good thing, and that's let me find it. People who never played other games with tank battles for 12 years will be amazed by this. Yes. I don't have my own footage because all of my squad footage is on my old PC. I don't even have fucking squad installed on this PC. But look at this.
Yeah, they dug down our hab.
So this is squad.
Yeah,
a game that's like, it's not really realistic, but it's fairly realistic. You have tanks, you have infantry, you have choppers and all of that. And the thing is, there is no third person, first of all. Secondly, the armor penetration actually works like it does in real life. So if you hit an angled thing at like a wide angle, right? Wide angle? I don't fucking know. It's different in Serbian. So the shell is basically gonna bounce. So you gotta hit the tanks at right angles, so you would penetrate the tanks.
Can you see it?
And it's a FPS game. See, what he did here is he hit the tracks of the, what is this, T-92, I think, and the tank got tracked.
Tank's tracked.
I think they bounced this shell. That was a 90-degree angle, so that's that penetrated.
He's on fire. Enemy tank's down.
So that's how tank battles should look like in most games. This is like, what is this? A Bradley shooting a BMP 2, I think. I think this is a BMP 2.
He's smoking. He's on fire. He's dead. Enemy BMP destroyed.
What is this? This should be a BMP. So most of the tank battles, yeah, also there's ammo rack. You can ammo rack what's it called? The tank. So there is a difference with the M1 Abrams. When you shoot the ammo rack, the crew inside is going to be fine, but with the T-92, people are going to die inside because the ammo rack, like itself, is inside with the crew. Or the T-72, it doesn't matter. So most of the tank battles and APC battles and IFV battles happen at range. T-90, yeah. Oh, okay, so they just like kill the guy and finish the game. So yeah, you have like wire-guided missiles and all of that. So if you never played Squad, you should try it, and then you will understand why like Star Citizen is terrible at ground vehicles. Even though Squad is not amazing. What engine is Battlefield on? I forgot. It's like EA's engine. Frostbite, I think? It's DICE's engine, actually.
And 1.8.
He doesn't know where we are. That was a big hit on him.
Star Citizen is not a dedicated milsim. Star Citizen is not a dedicated anything. That's the issue.
Hello.
It wants to be a dedicated everything, but it's not a dedicated anything. That's the problem.
Track.
Yeah, Squad is really clunky,
He's smoking.
but with like right teamwork, it's an amazing game.
Okay.